we have to speak on the elephant in the room, which is the biggest announcement they had, which was Battle Boots. Yeah. Woo! Let me tell you, we were. Oh yeah, I was there when they announced it, and that crowd went crazy when they just kept the combos and everything kept getting inversible. We were like, oh my god, and then it was like, oh, when they saw the combos coming in, they were like, yo, this looks dope. So the Battle Boots, I actually got to experience it, which is awesome. And let me tell you, that weapon is smooth. Smooth. It's a little even floaty actually. Like, I feel like that is gonna go through tons of actual like what's they called, nerfing before it's actually they get it perfectly, but
oh yeah, what you saw might not be the end product.
Yeah. Yes, got him. So the interesting part though then became like, well, you know, how does it play? It plays like a little bit like if it was like a Rocket Lance. Damn. Oh! It plays a little bit like a Rocket Lance mixed with gauntlets. It's like really, really cool, like the weapon itself. But more importantly, you know, not more importantly, but with that said, you know, what they showed off. So basically, the Battle Boots, we got to play it. I thought it played really cool. They had like stations set up of which you could play the Battle Boots. It was like a silhouette character. It wasn't like anything crazy. My favorite is though is that we did predict this weapon 6 months ago technically, and that's because I talked about like, you know, they like to test things out in crossovers. We saw a lot of iterations of things happen within crossovers, and I said there's never been a crossover character before Street Fighter was introduced that really enabled like a kick signature. Maybe the character didn't call for it, it just never did. It never happened. So yeah. With that said, it was then interesting that they obviously had Chun-Li that did that. Good stuff. And so why I mentioned that is because they had test signatures, right? So they didn't actually have real signatures for these characters. For the Battle Boots like legend kind of testing or whatever, what they had was so what they had was, I got that from Luma. That's true. Woo! Charged. So damn, that just sounds cool. So
yeah, definitely.
Now then, let's talk about, obviously, you know, while I was like, there's so many things you could do with this freaking weapon. It's gonna be madness. What do you think? Obviously, they didn't show off the legend. That was like the big deal. It was like, oh, that's gonna be a reveal later. Totally understand, actually. What I appreciate though is that it's coming in December. It's not coming next year. So, what do we think the weapon combination's gonna be? Battle Boots and what?
Gauntlets.
Okay, let me tell you, I 100% know it is not gonna be Battle Boots and Gauntlets. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because BMG and Brawlhalla know what the people want, and they're not gonna give it to them. Not yet, that is. It is just gonna be one of those things. It is the most, think about it, it is the most sought after combination since the thing is announced. Why would they give them to them right away? You might as well just come out with it with another weapon. People are gonna love the actual weapon, the new weapon and everything else, and they're gonna play with it no matter what weapon combination it is. And you're just gonna trickle until you get to the one that people want, and everything's gonna go ape. Now, so this is what do you think about that before I move forward? Does that make sense?
I guess.
They're gonna tease it up. all the way up until it comes out, and that's going to be the ultimate combination for that weapon that people want. But you might as well come out with the weapon with any other weapon, and people are just going to want to use that weapon and love it. So they're going to use any legend that they come up with until that combination comes out, and then they're going to be like, this is it. The reason is why, besides the fact that, like, just, you know, you would think like, oh, maybe that's how they want to do it, is there's a track record between Brawlhalla in general. And what is that? Is the fact that, like, remember we talked to Matt Woomer and we asked him that question about, like, what legend signatures he would have. And he said, he was talking about, like, somebody that you have, but he was like, you know, it would be cool to have Val's signature just because they're so kind of perfect, but they're not, like, special. They just, and you even asked, you're like, oh, they're kind of just like a perfect balance. He's like, yeah, exactly. And it's like, Val did this to this game, like Val did that to this game, where he was like a perfect combination. Everybody wanted to use that sword gauntlet. Seems so cool.
Yeah.
Petra is what she, like, is what Orb, like what she did to Orb is the same concept. People thought Orb was cool. People liked the characters coming out. They wanted, and then she was the Eclipse. When she came out, Gauntlet's Orb, people lost it. Like, that was like, this is an anime character, like, brought to life. She's like super, super cool. So I think the teasing up, which Petra's the fourth person then, the fourth person Orb that came out. They're gonna tease it up all the way up until, like, Gauntlets and Battle Boots comes out. Now, here's the thing. We don't know for sure, what I'm saying, but I almost really want to say likely this is what's gonna happen. The difference is how they go about it. So it's almost like they have a responsibility to make that a sick ass character, and if they fail at that, people are gonna be pissed. But that's where it's gonna be. It's like, whatever Battle Boots Gauntlet character comes out, it needs to be dope. It just needs to be dope. Like people won't take it if it's not. I mean, they will, and they might just not use signatures and stuff like that, but they want to see it. I know they want to see a cool character. So that's where I think, you know, that's what we don't know exactly is gonna happen, is, you know, what character is actually gonna be introduced and stuff. With that said, I think it's not gonna be like an S tier weapon or nothing. It's like, it's gonna be something like Rocket Lance, because at that point, like I said, what we found out was, you know, Rocket Lance is one of the least used weapons. It's actually the least used weapon in the game. Like, people don't really care for that weapon that much. And so, you know, what's crazy is that as much as we talked about, like, Katars need a rework, or should get a rework, it probably should be Rocket Lance. Rocket Lance should get a rework just by that sort of association. It's not a very popular weapon, and, you know, it's one of those things where you would like to see it breathe life if they do something really cool with it. But with that said, being that, why not your first weapon pair it up with one of your least used weapons? Because everybody's still gonna use that character just to see what that's like.
Yeah, but then there's the long term, like, you know, the short term fall off. Like, you're gonna have a very still, like, you know, there's some people are like, well, I love the character, love the boots, but I hate Rocket Lance.
You'll have that. Oh, nice. You'll have that, but I think what will happen there is that a lot of people will end up practicing with that weapon until the next character comes out, and then I think that'll just be a solid character. People will be like, okay, I'm in it. Rocket Boots, these signatures are dope. All the way up until you get that fourth character, you're like, yo, this is the epitome. This is what I wanted.
Yeah, this is what I wanted, and then the SIGs are not what you hoped for, envisioned.
Well, oh, what do you mean? Talking about gauntlets and battle boots? Because that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You don't think that's gonna happen? I think.
It could happen. It might. You saying it's 100%? You saying
no.
This 100%.
100%.
It's not gonna be this.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. Look. You say, I know for a fact 100% it's not gonna be this. Okay. You also gotta say, what if you're wrong?
Yeah, but I was right about the weapon. I'm going off of that feed.